Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts, and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, let's take a look again on the gold market. So yesterday we've got in-depth analysis on the situation in the Forex market. It has a lot of common things with the gold as well, because actually the driving factor stands the same, geopolitics and Fed policy. But they could impact differently on different markets. For example, if the geopolitical tensions in Europe is the headwind for euro currency, for the gold, this is the source of support, and it could act differently. So from that standpoint, we also discussed the situation on the gold market. We explained in the weekly report why geopolitical tensions could make impact on the Fed policy, why it could impact on the economy of the United States, and we suggest that watching on the Fed policy currently only as the number of hikes in this year and where they start the quantitative tightening program, it is too narrow view. First of all, speaking on the Fed policy, we think that we need to take deeper look at the situation, because currently not a question of the number of rate hikes stands in the focus, but what will happen with the economy and what Fed will do if rate change and if they appear in a dead way, when inflation will still remains high, but the changing of the rate starts to hold the economy growth. United States economy currently stands in a very fragile situation, because the bottlenecks of the supply chain still exist, especially when the United States keep the policy of the artificial bottlenecks, trying to press on the China economy growth and hold the China growth. With this, they also make impact on their own economy. And geopolitical tensions, as we told already, and not once actually, we think that this is for a long term. They will not end early and fast, and this is really a long journey, and that just has started. And don't be deceived with this temporal relief, because the question of these geopolitical tensions not actually around the Ukraine. These tensions stands on twofold. First is the security, Russian claims on the security in Europe, and second, in general, the domination over the Europe. So that's the major background, the core of these tensions. Nobody needs actually the Ukraine. Russia doesn't need it, and the United States doesn't need it. This is too small subject for argumentation between the big countries. So, and that makes us think that this is a long journey. Depending on who will take the lead in these tensions, will get the major positive impact. At the same time, the losing side will get the problems not only on the geopolitical sphere, but also in the domestic political sphere. This is, guys, the rule of thumb. If you are losing the external political struggle, you will get the problems inside the country. This has always happened. Whatever your country will take, those who has lost the big games in the geopolitics usually leads to some really big unrest and problems in the domestic politics as well. This always happens. That's why this indirectly could be the source of the risk for the United States as well. So that's why we're not withdrawing, and we think that it is too early to suggest that the gold game is lost. We think it's not time for that yet. And maybe, yes, indeed, within the 3-4 months, gold remains under pressure because of just starting of the rate hiking cycle. This is obvious, but in a longer term perspective, I think starting since summer, it will become more clear how interest rate policy impacts the United States economy, how geopolitical game of the United States makes impact on the domestic politics and the economy as well. and what is changing in the balance in the world, I mean in the political balance. So, and I think that in the second half of the 2022, close to summer, as I said, gold suddenly could get some unexpected support. I think that it's too early speaking that gold is losing the momentum, it's turning to the long-term bearish cycle. I think it's not time for that yet. So this is in short what we discussed in the weekly report. If you would like to know the details, you could just read the report. So lots of interesting there. Speaking on the technical side, well, as longer-term picture sophisticated for the gold, as short-term picture stands relatively clear. On the recent week, market has formed bearish reversal week. On the weekly chart, weekly trend has turned bearish. And in the current circumstances, we just can't consider any new long position by far, which means that we expect further downward continuation on the gold market within the nearest few weeks. At the same time, on the daily chart, market hits the 618 support and daily oversold area. It means that in the beginning of the week, market could show some minor bounce up. And we suggest that this minor bounce could become good advantage, good chance to take the short positions, those who would like to take to go short, to sell the gold. Particularly speaking, if you'll take a look at the fall time frame chart, actually probably we already talked about this in the previous video. So we have the great thrust down, and it would be nice if we will get the bread and butter sell. So with this bounce up to somewhere to the 1810 area, retesting of these lows, market could create a great background for taking short position and selling gold with this momentum trade. Let us to participate not only with the target of the previous lows, but I suppose that spread butter could be a great chance to enter with a more extended downward action, which probably should happen on the gold within a few weeks. So if you're considering good chance to go short with the perspective of the few weeks, that might be the scenario that you want and that you would like to get. So let's keep watching what will happen. Gold market currently is entering in a very interesting stage, and it will be lots of interesting stops, I suppose, and surprise on the gold market still.